The vast emptiness of space suddenly crackled with a desperate transmission. Weak signals pierced through layers of cosmic interference, carrying a message of imminent destruction. On Earth, deep within the underground command center of the United Stellar Defense Force, screens flickered to life with fragmented images of alien worlds burning. Captain Hyun Park leaned forward, her eyes scanning the incoming data. The transmission was unlike anything she had seen before. Scattered holographic displays showed glimpses of massive spacecraft being torn apart, entire planetary defense systems collapsing under an overwhelming assault. Strange energy signatures danced across the screens, revealing the technical complexity of the ongoing conflict. The communication was from a species humanity had only minimal contact with, a loose confederation of peaceful planetary societies known collectively as the Galactic Cooperative. Their technology was advanced but defensive, never designed for full-scale warfare. Now they were being systematically dismantled by an unknown aggressor. Analysis. Captain Park called out to her senior communications specialist. Daniel Rodriguez, a veteran data analyst with cybernetic interface implants, began processing the fragmented transmission. His fingers moved rapidly across holographic interfaces, reconstructing the message piece by piece. Massive invasion force, he muttered. Multiple star systems compromised. Request for immediate intervention. The command center fell silent. Earth had never officially engaged in an interstellar rescue mission of this scale. Political discussions would typically consume weeks, if not months. But the raw desperation in the transmission suggested they had mere hours, not days. Admiral Ji-Woo Kim walked into the command center, his augmented cybernetic eye scanning the data streams. Decades of military experience had prepared him for complex scenarios. But this was different. The scale of destruction shown in the transmission was unprecedented. Estimated time to complete planetary destruction? He asked, his voice calm, but laden with tension. A young technician, Sarah Martinez, quickly calculated the data. Approximately 12 standard hours for complete system annihilation. The attacking force is using molecular disintegration weapons. Entire planetary infrastructures are being erased. Captain Park knew what this meant. Billions of alien lives would be lost if humanity did not act immediately. The ethical and strategic implications were massive. Earth had always maintained a policy of non-intervention, but this transmission challenged every existing protocol. Admiral Kim made eye contact with Captain Park. No words were needed. They both understood the moment's gravity. A decision had to be made, and it had to be made now. The mysterious attacking force had no known identification. Their technology seemed to bypass conventional defense mechanisms with terrifying efficiency. Energy signatures suggested they were not just technologically advanced, but possibly operating on principles completely unknown to current scientific understanding. Prepare the Titan-class battleships, Admiral Kim commanded. Full combat readiness in 2 hours. The command center erupted into organized chaos. Technicians began powering up defense systems, communication networks synchronized across multiple planetary bases. Massive starship construction facilities hidden beneath mountain ranges and deep ocean platforms began mobilizing humanity's most advanced military assets. Captain Park watched the alien transmission repeat, her mind analyzing every visual fragment. Something about the attack pattern seemed deliberate, almost surgical. This was not random destruction, but a calculated elimination of an entire civilization. As the first Titan-class battleships began powering up their quantum drives, a sense of anticipation filled the command center. Humanity was about to step into a conflict that could potentially change the balance of power in the known galaxy. The transmission continued to play, a haunting reminder of the stakes. Entire worlds were being erased, civilizations reduced to cosmic dust. And now, Earth would respond. The countdown began. Humanity's deadliest fleet was preparing to jump into the unknown, with nothing but a fragmented distress signal and a commitment to protect life, wherever it might exist in the vast, unforgiving universe. The massive underground shipyards beneath the Pacific Ocean began to rumble. Massive starship construction platforms activated, their quantum molecular assemblers spinning to life with incredible precision. Each Titan-class battleship represented decades of human technological advancement, complex machines that were more like living organisms than traditional spacecraft. Admiral Ji-Woo Kim watched the initial mobilization from the central command hub. His cybernetic eye scanned multiple holographic displays, tracking every minute detail of the fleet preparation. The United Earth Stellar Defense Force had never assembled a strike team of this magnitude before. 12 primary battleships would form the core of the rescue mission. Each vessel measured over 10 kilometers in length, equipped with systems that could potentially destroy entire planetary ecosystems if fully activated. Their quantum shields could withstand multiple nuclear-level weapon impacts, while their adaptive AI combat networks represented the pinnacle of human computational engineering. Crew members began boarding the vessels. They were not typical soldiers, but highly trained specialists selected from multiple scientific and military backgrounds. Genetic modifications and neural interface training had transformed them into something more than traditional human fighters. They were living weapons systems, capable of making split-second decisions in environments where traditional human reaction times would prove fatal. The flagship, named Horizon's Blade, would be commanded by Captain Hyun Park. Its systems were uniquely designed, featuring experimental quantum entanglement communication arrays that could potentially communicate across impossible distances. Standard communication protocols would be useless in the type of conflict suggested by the distress signal. Weapon systems came online one by one. Plasma cannons capable of delivering concentrated energy, equivalent to small star explosions, hummed with potential. Missile banks filled with adaptive smart munitions prepared for launch. Each weapon was more sophisticated than entire planetary defense systems from just a decade earlier. Daniel Rodriguez, now serving as the primary tactical coordination specialist, monitored the fleet's initial systems check. His neural implants allowed him to process thousands of data streams simultaneously, ensuring perfect synchronization between different ship systems. "All primary systems are green," he announced. The command center acknowledged his report with professional calm. DEQ. Mobilization wasn't just about military hardware. Massive support vessels carrying medical facilities, reconstruction technologies, and scientific research platforms were also being prepared. Humanity's response would not just be about combat, but about potential rescue and recovery. Outside the shipyards, the Pacific Ocean's surface remained calm. Thousands of meters below, humanity was preparing its most significant military operation in recorded history. Stealth technologies kept the entire operation hidden from conventional detection. Systems Admiral Kim reviewed the final mission parameters. The fragmented transmission suggested they would be entering a conflict zone with unknown technological variables. Traditional military strategies would be useless. Adaptability and rapid response would be crucial. Fuel cells made from exotic matter harvested from deep space mining operations began filling the starship's energy reserves. These power sources could potentially drive the vessels at speeds that would make traditional physics seem like primitive understanding. Crew members went through final psychological evaluations. Neural stability tests ensured they could handle the mental stress of potential high-intensity combat scenarios. Many had undergone specialized training that simulated impossible combat environments. As the final preparation stages completed, a sense of anticipation filled every deck and command center. This was more than a military mission. This was humanity's first true step into becoming a galactic intervention force. The 12 battleships began to power up their faster-than-light drives. Strange electromagnetic fields surrounded the vessels, warping the very fabric of space around them. In mere moments, they would jump into an unknown conflict, carrying with them the hopes and technological might of an entire planetary civilization. Admiral Kim gave the final launch command. "Prepare for quantum jump. All systems, engage." The ocean's surface remained undisturbed, but deep below, humanity's most advanced fleet was about to answer a desperate call for help from across the galaxy. The vast blackness of hyperspace stretched around the fleet like an endless, silent ocean. Strange quantum waves distorted the exterior of each vessel, creating impossible geometric patterns that would have challenged human perception just decades earlier. Inside the flagship, Horizons, Blade, Captain Hyun Park monitored the complex navigation systems. Neural interface connections allowed her to feel the ship's systems as an extension of her own consciousness. Every vibration, every microscopic energy fluctuation translated through her augmented nervous system. The journey would take approximately 72 standard hours, but time behaved differently in quantum space. Daniel Rodriguez worked tirelessly at the Tactical Coordination Station. Multiple holographic displays surrounded him, each showing different layers of potential threat scenarios. The alien transmission they had received contained fragmented data about the attacking force, and every piece of information was being meticulously analyzed. Advanced AI systems continuously processed potential combat strategies. Machine learning algorithms ran millions of simulation scenarios every second, predicting potential engagement outcomes with mathematical precision. The human crew served more as strategic overseers, their intuition complementing the computational power of their technological systems. Medical specialist Lisa Chen monitored the crew's physiological responses. Quantum jump transitions could cause severe neurological stress, and her job was to ensure every crew member remained in optimal condition. Specialized neural stabilization drugs circulated through automated medical systems, preventing potential psychological breakdowns. The ship's environmental systems maintained perfect human-compatible conditions. Artificial gravity, controlled, atmospheric composition, and adaptive temperature regulation ensured the crew could function at peak efficiency. These were not just spacecraft, but carefully designed living environments capable of supporting human life in the most extreme conditions. Outside the ship's quantum shields, impossible geometric shapes danced and twisted. Hyperspace was not empty, but filled with complex energy patterns that defied traditional understanding of physics. Sensors detected multiple dimensional intersections, revealing layers of reality humans had only theoretically understood. Crew members rotated through different stations, each trained to handle multiple complex roles. Enhanced cognitive interfaces allowed for seamless information transfer and task adaptation. A weapons specialist could instantly become a navigation expert, or a medical technician could switch to tactical analysis within seconds. Admiral Ji-Woo Kim reviewed the mission parameters repeatedly. Something about the alien transmission troubled him. The attack pattern suggested a level of technological sophistication that seemed almost impossible. The attacking force was not just destroying planets, but systematically erasing entire technological infrastructures. Experimental long-range sensors continued scanning the potential destination zone. Strange energy signatures suggested the conflict was more complex than a simple invasion. The patterns indicated a form of technological warfare that humanity had never encountered. Quantum communication arrays maintained a minimal connection with Earth's command centers. Burst transmissions containing compressed data packets were sent every few hours, ensuring a thin line of communication remained intact. But once they jumped beyond certain quantum thresholds, even these connections would become unreliable. The crew's genetic modifications became increasingly important during long-distance space travel. Enhanced radiation resistance, accelerated cellular regeneration, and neurological adaptability allowed them to withstand conditions that would have killed traditional human explorers. They were the next stage of human evolution, designed specifically for space exploration and potential conflict. Weapon systems remained in a state of constant readiness. Plasma cannons, quantum disruptors, and adaptive missile systems waited silently. Each system was more like a living organism than a traditional weapon, capable of making independent targeting decisions based on complex environmental inputs. As they traveled deeper into unknown space, the sense of anticipation grew. They were heading towards a conflict that could potentially determine the fate of entire civilizations. The 12 battleships moved as a single coordinated entity, their quantum drives creating impossible ripples in the fabric of space-time. Captain Park looked out through the quantum-reinforced viewports. The hyperspace environment seemed to pulse with strange, almost sentient energy. Humanity was venturing further than it ever had before, carrying with it the hope of preventing a potential galactic catastrophe. The The journey continued, silent and intense, with each passing moment bringing them closer to a conflict that would test the very limits of human technological capability. The quantum jump ended with a sudden, violent emergence into normal space. 12 massive battleships materialized. Simultaneously, their quantum shields creating brilliant blue-white energy ripples that spread across thousands of kilometers. The scene before them was total devastation. Broken planetary fragments drifted silently. Entire star systems showed signs of complete technological destruction. Massive alien spacecraft hulls, torn and fragmented, floated like dead metallic corpses against the dark cosmic background. The attacking force was still present, continuing its systematic elimination of the remaining planetary defenses. Captain Hyun Park's neural interfaces immediately connected with the ship's primary combat systems. Her augmented brain processed tactical information faster than any traditional computer. Targeting algorithms began mapping the enemy's technological signatures, revealing a level of complexity that seemed almost beyond comprehension. Enemy configuration identified, Daniel Rodriguez announced. His voice was calm, almost mechanical. Technological pattern suggests non-biological combat units, possibly autonomous quantum-based war machines. The attacking force consisted of thousands of smaller vessels, each moving with impossible precision. They were not traditional spacecraft, but seemed more like living quantum computational entities. Their movement patterns suggested a collective intelligence that operated beyond standard understanding of tactical engagement. Admiral Ji-Woo Kim studied the holographic displays. Prepare primary weapon systems, quantum disruptors to maximum power. The Horizon's Blade and its 11 companion battleships began their initial approach. Their quantum shields could absorb and redirect energy equivalent to multiple nuclear detonations. Each vessel represented humanity's most advanced technological achievement, designed to operate in environments that would instantly destroy traditional military hardware. Plasma cannons charged with exotic matter fired first. The energy discharge created massive quantum rifts, cutting through the attacking vessels like theoretical light through theoretical darkness. But the enemy responded instantly. Adaptive defensive systems reconfigured their molecular structures, absorbing and redirecting incoming energy. Fascinating, Lisa Chen muttered, monitoring the biological and technological interactions. They're not just defending, they're learning. The battle transformed into a complex dance of technological adaptation. Human weapons would find a penetration point, and the enemy would instantly modify its defensive capabilities. It was less a traditional battle and more a rapid computational exchange of technological information. Quantum entanglement. Communication arrays allowed the human fleet to coordinate with unprecedented precision. Each ship moved as a single coordinated organism. Missile systems launched adaptive smart munitions that could change trajectory based on real-time computational analysis. 30 minutes into the engagement, something unexpected happened. The attacking force began to demonstrate signs of strategic withdrawal. Their computational analysis had likely determined that the human fleet represented an unknown and potentially undefeatable variable. They're retreating, Daniel Rodriguez reported. But this doesn't feel like a traditional retreat. It's more like a data collection mission. Admiral Kim understood immediately. This was not about conquest, this was about understanding. The attacking force was gathering information about human technological capabilities, using the conflict as a massive computational experiment. The remaining alien civilizations watched in shocked silence. Massive sensor arrays on damaged space stations captured every moment of the engagement. Humanity had not just defended against an attack. They had demonstrated a level of technological sophistication that would reshape galactic understanding. As the last enemy vessels disappeared into quantum space, an eerie silence filled the human fleet's communication channels. They had won, but the victory felt more complex than a traditional military engagement. Captain Park looked out across the devastated star system. Broken planetary fragments drifted silently, testament to the conflict that had just occurred. Humanity had just sent a clear message to the universe. They were not just another developing civilization, but a technological force to be recognized and respected. The 12 battleships maintained their defensive formations, quantum drives humming with potential energy. They had answered a desperate call for help and fundamentally changed the galactic landscape in the process. The aftermath of the battle revealed a universe forever changed. Surviving alien civilizations watched the human fleet with a mixture of terror and hope. Massive communication arrays began transmitting diplomatic signals, requesting direct communication with Earth's representatives. Captain Hyun Park and Admiral Ji Woo Kim prepared for the most complex diplomatic mission in human history. The 12 battleships formed a protective formation around the surviving alien planetary structures, their quantum shields creating an impenetrable protective barrier. Daniel Rodriguez worked frantically to translate and process the incoming communication signals. The alien confederation's language was complex, consisting of quantum-based communication patterns that traditional translation systems struggled to interpret. His neural interfaces worked overtime, decoding subtle nuances of interstellar communication. Medical specialist Lisa Chen began coordinating massive humanitarian support efforts. Reconstruction vessels deployed from the human fleet, carrying advanced medical technologies and molecular restoration systems. Entire planetary infrastructures could be rebuilt within weeks, a process that would have taken centuries using traditional methods. The surviving alien leadership approached cautiously. Their representatives arrived in small diplomatic vessels, each movement carefully calculated. They had witnessed humanity's technological superiority and understood the delicate nature of the diplomatic engagement. "We do not seek conquest," Admiral Kim communicated through advanced quantum translation systems. "We respond to calls for help. Our objective is preservation of life and technological cooperation." The alien civilizations discovered something unexpected about human intervention. Unlike previous galactic powers they had encountered, humans seemed genuinely interested in restoration rather than domination. Advanced medical technologies were freely offered. Quantum energy systems that could resurrect entire planetary ecosystems were shared without condition. Detailed analysis of the attacking force revealed something extraordinary. The quantum-based war machines were not traditional invaders, but some form of advanced computational exploration system. They seemed designed to test and analyze technological capabilities of developing civilizations. Lisa Chen's research teams began studying the remnant technological fragments. Each piece of captured enemy technology represented a potential breakthrough in understanding quantum computational systems. The scientific potential was immense. Diplomatic negotiations continued for several standard weeks. Earth's representatives demonstrated a remarkable ability to understand complex multi-species communication protocols. The human fleet remained in position, a silent guarantee of protection and potential support. Reconstruction efforts began immediately. Molecular restoration technologies allowed damaged planetary systems to be rebuilt at unprecedented speeds. Cities that had been completely destroyed could be reconstructed within days, not decades. The galactic communication networks buzzed with information about humanity's intervention. For the first time, a developing civilization had not only defended against an unknown technological threat, but had done so with remarkable precision and humanitarian consideration. Admiral Kim understood the larger strategic implications. This was more than a military rescue mission. This was humanity's first true introduction to the broader galactic community. Their actions would define how other civilizations would perceive them for generations. Captain Park monitored the ongoing diplomatic and reconstruction efforts. Her neural interfaces allowed her to process multiple complex scenarios simultaneously. The human fleet remained ready, their quantum drives capable of immediate response to any potential threat. The alien confederation's leadership was particularly impressed by humanity's approach. Advanced medical technologies were shared freely. Quantum energy systems that could resurrect entire planetary ecosystems were offered without demanding political concessions. As reconstruction efforts continued, the surviving civilizations began to understand the true nature of human intervention. This was not about conquest or territorial expansion. This was about protecting life and promoting technological progress. The 12 battleships maintained their protective formation, a silent reminder of humanity's technological capabilities. They had not just rescued a civilization, they had fundamentally altered the understanding of interstellar cooperation. Daniel Rodriguez completed the final communication translation protocols. The message was clear and simple. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they would be defined by their commitment to preservation, not destruction. The universe watched and waited, understanding that everything had changed in those few remarkable weeks of human intervention.